At the top of the financial food chain, a $2.1 billion tech acquisition begins long before the first spreadsheet is opened. It starts with a series of quiet phone calls between a managing director and a CEO, leveraging decades of proximity and personal access. That multi-billion-dollar handshake requires an engine to actually run the numbers. At 2:13 a.m., a 22-year-old first-year analyst is grinding through a 90-page pitch book. Every decimal point and every comparable transaction must be flawless before the markets open. The analyst knows the target company's revenue, leverage ratios, and capital structure better than its own board members. Yet, when the deal closes, their name is missing from every press release and public filing. This is the entry price for institutional power. Invisible junior labor converted into high-stakes senior strategy. The data, meticulously guarded in the banking loop, can slip out in a single moment. At 11:47 p.m., a mid-level compliance worker texts an old college roommate a highly confidential tip about an upcoming biotech trial. The shadow trader uses that information to bypass the decades of 85-hour weeks. They execute the trade in a matter of seconds, aiming for the returns of a 15-year career without the sacrifice. This chart tracks the immediate result. A flat line for months is followed by a vertical spike, as a single leaked rumor turns a $15,000 bet into an instant $9,000 profit. In a single night, the trader pockets more cash than the analyst earns from their entire year-end bonus. Once proprietary data leaves the loop, it ceases to be a tool for corporate strategy and transforms into a volatile, illegal accelerant. Within the legitimate machine, an acquisition enters due diligence. This phase acts as a rigid filtration system, where the bank must account for every liability and asset under extreme pressure. The associate acts as the first defensive barrier. They scan the analyst's work in minutes, catching errors and restructuring models long before the data reaches senior eyes. As data moves up this pyramid, it becomes refined. The VP translates perfect models into strategic leverage. But the massive gap to the highest peak represents a total shift. Executing perfectly is expected. Surviving requires originating multi-million-dollar business independently. Reaching that peak requires 85-hour weeks and years of expense dinners eaten over keyboards. It is a physical and mental endurance test. This grueling progression is the intentional price Wall Street demands in exchange for institutional control. The shadow trader scales their operation by adding layers of digital defense. They route trades through VPNs across 5 countries and move profits into offshore Cayman trusts, utilizing a fleet of burner phones. While their liquid wealth climbs into the millions, their personal freedom contracts. Every new profit milestone is accompanied by a deeper, more suffocating paranoia. This terror manifests in constant vigilance. The trader installs signal jammers and watches the rearview mirror for the same black sedan. They move to new apartments at 4 a.m., paying cash to keep their name off the lease. Millions of dollars across multiple monitors mask a fundamental vulnerability. The trader operates as a single exposed node in a criminal web, entirely dependent on anonymous contacts remaining silent under pressure. The shortcut replaces physical exhaustion with psychological terror. The trader is no longer playing the market is actively trapping them. The $2.1 billion tech deal is officially announced. The target stock gaps up publicly, and the banking team reaches the end of the legitimate process. The bank secures a $12 million advisory fee. The managing director places a sleek glass tombstone on their shelf, a permanent public record of their success in the transaction. The analyst who built the foundation of the deal secures a promotion to associate. They return to their desk and open a blank spreadsheet to begin the cycle again. The hierarchy successfully converted invisible junior labor into bulletproof senior capital. At 6:17 a.m. on a Tuesday, the trader's paranoia is validated. The compliance officer flipped months ago, providing the FBI with the entire shadow network. The raid is over before the sun is up. Millions of dollars in Zurich vaults and offshore LLCs are instantly frozen. The countermeasures that cost tens of thousands of dollars failed to protect a single cent. A 5-year federal prison sentence follows. The shortcut ends in the total seizure of all wealth and complete isolation from the world the trader attempted to manipulate. The financial system is designed to protect its own asymmetry. You can build an empire by enduring its brutal rules, or you can exploit its leaks for a shortcut, but the machine will eventually consume everyone who attempts to cheat it.